Today we're talking about status conditions, how they affect competitive play. So at the time of recording, there is 6 status conditions, and those are toxic, poison, sleep, freeze, burn, and paralysis. I'm going to go through toxic and poison very quickly, sleep and freeze probably very quickly as well, because burn and paralysis are probably the two that people actually don't understand what they do completely, as well as them being the status conditions used the most in VGC. So let's get started. Poison and toxic. There's nothing special about them. Basically, poison deals 1/8 of the Pokemon's max HP every turn. Toxic does 1/16 for the first turn, and then every consecutive turn, it adds 1/16 to that total. Freeze it works in a similar way to sleep, but it's possible to fall out on the first turn. Basically, every turn that a Pokemon is frozen, there is a 20% chance that it will fall and be able to get a move out. Obviously, moves like Scald will fall out a Pokemon that's frozen, whether it is the user or the target, and fire type moves also fall out for Pokemon. Sleep works a little bit differently than what freeze does, in that while yes, you can wake up and there is a maximum number of turns that you can be asleep for, if you are put to sleep by, let's say, sleep powder or spore, hypnosis, you are guaranteed to be asleep for one of your attacks. Then you have about a 30 to 33% chance of waking up turn 2, and so on until basically you wake up. If your Pokemon though uses rest, it will be asleep for 2 turns and 2 turns only. Now we're getting to the nitty gritty. That there is 4 status conditions dealt with. They're simple and easy to understand. Let's now go with burn. So burn deals damage at the end of every turn. We all know that. Everyone knows that. I'm pretty sure that my son, who is 6, knows that. But burn has a secondary effect. And what burn does that is essential to competitive play is that it halves the damage output from physical moves. And how it works, if looking at Showdown, is that it doesn't affect the attack stat, it affects the base power. So when you look at a move, it shows you power and accuracy. That power gets halved, which means moves like body press, which use the defense stat to calculate damage instead of the attack stats, are still affected. So moves like Will-O-Wisp is basically essential in some teams. In the Sword and Shield era, I had a team that had Prankster Sableye, and the amount of times that I prioritized burning a Zacian was essential to winning a lot of the games. And moving on to status effects having a secondary effect, we get paralysis. We all know that what paralysis does is that every turn there is a chance that the paralyzed Pokemon is full para, meaning that it can't do an attack. Paralysis though is a really good way of achieving speed control, because it basically has an effect similar to the item Iron Ball, in that the paralyzed Pokemon gets its speed halved. So it is really good into super quick Pokemon like Shadow Rider Calyrex, Zacian, becomes very, very helpful. And that there is status conditions. One other condition that is so close to being a status condition that it's not even funny, and it's a thing that Lumberry will activate for, is confusion. Confusion, there's a percentage that you will attack yourself in confusion. How that damage is calculated is with your attack stat. So it is quite popular that if your Pokemon isn't one that wants to do physical damage, that you have a negative nature for the attack stat, 0 EV investment, and have 0 IVs in the attack stat, so that you deal as little damage as possible. So yes, that is status conditions. Let me know in the comment section below how many of you knew that burn halves the damage output of physical moves, and that paralysis halves the speed of affected Pokemon. So do let me know down below. Also, while you're down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out, and I want to do more of these guides to help you improve your competitive game. I want you all to have a good day, and bye.